All right, here we go. We're going live. Welcome to Mr. Corey's Stories. And today we are going to have a fun little book called Billy's Buckets. This is one of my favorite books. I've been reading it to my guys for a good while now, and I think it's a great story, and it has some great possibilities for imagination, which is I think an important thing for us to be able to hang on to at this point. All right, so let's get going with Billy's Buckets. This is written by Kes Gray and Gary Parsons. Can I have a bucket for my birthday? Asked Billy. Billy's dad looked up from his newspaper. A bucket? You don't want a bucket for your birthday. No one gets a bucket for his birthday. Why not? Asked Billy. Because, Billy, explained his mom, buckets are far too buckety to be a birthday present. But Billy wouldn't be persuaded. Please, can I have a bucket for my birthday? He asked. How about a bike? Said his dad. Or some new sneakers, said his mom. Or a computer game. I want a bucket, said Billy. All right, sighed Billy's dad. You can have a bucket for your birthday. Yippee! Shouted Billy. Shouted Billy. The next day, Billy and his mom and dad went to Buckets R Us. There were buckets of buckets at Buckets R Us. Rubber buckets, plastic buckets, metal buckets, garden buckets, farm buckets, builder's buckets, beach buckets, and even soccer buckets. Billy's mom and dad followed Billy up and down every single aisle. What kind of bucket are you looking for? They asked. I don't know, said Billy, but I'll know when I see it. Oh, we're coming in now. There we go. Billy looked long and hard at every single bucket on every single shelf. There it is, he shouted. That's the one I want. Right there, 19 shelves up and 78 across from the left. Billy's mom and dad got someone to help them. They all look the same to me, said the sales clerk doubtfully. No, that one's special, said Billy excitedly. When Billy got home, he ran straight to the kitchen and filled his bucket with water. Cool, said Billy, peering inside his bucket. I can see a rock pool with crabs and seaweed and little shrimpy things. Of course you can, Billy, said his dad. Oh, wow, said Billy. I just saw a shark. Of course you did, Billy, his mom smiled. Guess what I just saw, exclaimed Billy, sitting down for his birthday dinner. I saw a stingray, some clownfish, a bunch of barracuda, and a mermaid, I think, but it might have just been a big herring. Of course you did, Billy, his dad chuckled. What's in your bucket at the moment, Billy? His dad chuckled again. 2 submarines and a sardine, said Billy. So, what's in your bucket now, Billy? His mom giggled. 7 sea lions and a walrus. Of course, his parents exclaimed. That night, Billy was still staring into his bucket. Billy's dad nudged his wife and winked. Billy, is it okay if we borrow your bucket to mix some paint tomorrow? Billy shook his head. No, it isn't. There are dolphins in my bucket right now. You must never borrow my bucket. Billy's mom waited a few more moments and winked at her husband. Billy, is it okay if we borrow your bucket to water the roses tomorrow? Billy frowned. There are 2 scuba divers in our bucket right now. You must never borrow my bucket. Billy's dad just smiled and waited a few more moments. Billy, is it okay if I borrow your bucket to wash the car tomorrow? Billy looked up from his bucket and sighed. No, it isn't okay. There's a coral reef in my bucket right now. You must never, ever, ever borrow my bucket. Oh, what an imagination, exclaimed Billy's mom and dad. But it's time for bed. Billy put his bucket away and went upstairs. Thanks for a great birthday, he called, and the best present in the world. When Billy woke up the next morning, he got dressed quickly and ran downstairs to play with his bucket, but it wasn't there. Oh no. By the time Billy found his dad, it was too late. I told you not to borrow my bucket, Billy said. It took Billy's mom and dad 6 hours, 3 fire engines, 4 cranes, and a shoehorn to get the whale back into the bucket. And they never asked to borrow Billy's bucket again. So that's our Billy Bucket story. We thought that'd be a lot of fun to be able to share with everyone. So just like Billy did, and with this imagination, he created what was actually in the bucket. So I want to introduce the folks that helped me out with this. So Lila, why don't you come out and we can share what Lila drew. So Lila, with her imagination, she looked into her bucket and she found a singing stingray, I believe, and looks like what I understand is penguin fish on telephones, and apparently an America's Got Talent idea here. So thank you, Lila, very much for your presentation. We can see what Caden, hey Caden, come on out. So this is Caden, and Caden actually created Caden's bucket, and he looked into the deep, deep sea, and we actually see a giant squid down there in his bucket, and apparently a nervous sloth or something. I don't know what that is right there, but good job, all right. And finally, we have our musical talent. We have Ashlyn here with her bucket on her head and cello in the arm. So Ashlyn decided with her imagination she wanted to go on a trip. So these are all the places that Ashlyn's looking to go. So that we have the Eiffel Tower, we have Big Ben, and we have the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, and how could I miss out on, of course, the moon? Maybe someday. Let's not make it anytime soon. So that right there is Billy's bucket, and a fun little imagination thing that you guys can all do at home. You can decide whether you want to be able to do something, whether you want to do something within your imagination that you want to go to or you want to see. What? Kate, what? I'm sorry, we're getting a little note from the production staff in the back. We actually have already gone over Caden's bucket, as already stated. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining. I hope you enjoy the story, and we look forward to seeing everybody real soon. Have fun, stay healthy, and be well.